Oh, we're recording.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Yeah, I see it in the corner now. Okay, awesome. All right, so thank you everybody for getting on. Desiree, she spoke at our Super Saturday in Anderson, South Carolina. And I know a few of you were there to hear her story. And I was just so inspired by her story that I had to ask her to come and share with y'all, because I know that a lot of you are going through some of the same transition that she had to go through, and she has sort of made it out of there. So I wanted her just to come and inspire everybody with her amazing story of overcoming all of the challenges. She is a Diamond Coach, a Success Club 5 All-Star. Three coaches and 10 elite points away from 2-star? And then her goal is to go to NLC, right? Next year? Oh, you're muted.
Okay. So can you mute everybody because it's breaking in and out?
Okay. Get everybody muted. Okay. Don't mute yourself. Okay, so you're 3 coaches and 10 elite points from
going to leadership, right?
Going to leadership. Okay, awesome. So that's pretty flipping amazing. And if y'all don't have NLC on your board for next year, I think it's February or January in 2017, you need to put that on your goal board, because that's going to be awesome. It's on my goal board. And when she told me her goals, I was like, oh my gosh, we're like exactly in the same exact place in our business. But anyway, I'm going to let you take it over. I'm going to mute myself. I'm going to doctor up his foot while I listen and just have at it.
Okay. Thank you, Amber. So this is a super awesome honor to talk with you guys, to be asked to talk to somebody else's team. So I'm a little nervous, but we'll get through it. So my name's Desiree. I've been a coach for almost 2 years, and I'll just start from the beginning and tell you my story. So I borrowed a burned copy of Insanity from my brother, because I had my little girl and we had just bought a house, and I realized I was not anywhere near health-wise where I should be. I would carry her upstairs and be completely out of breath, and I thought, this is ridiculous. I've got to do something, because I was always in sports growing up through school and college, and then, you know, as you get older and you get married and stuff, that kind of goes away. So I started Insanity, and one of my friends out of the blue asked me on Facebook to be in her challenge group, and I was like, okay, what is this? So I got in her challenge group, and I really loved it. Everyone was awesome and motivating, and she's kept telling me, you'd be a really good coach. So I was like, okay. I'm not a researcher person. If I feel like I want to do it, I just kind of jump in full force. So that's what I did. And so I started in September of 2014, and I just jumped in. She was brand new too, so she really didn't know how to teach me anything. So I just jumped on all of our training on the Coach Office and on YouTube. I was constantly listening to videos on YouTube, and I just started a challenge group right away. And I didn't understand all the basics, like that you need Shakeology. So what I did was I bought the $40 sign-up fee, and I bought 21-day fix, because I do not like shakes at all, and that's what I told her. So that's how I started, and that's how I started signing people up. I didn't even realize, you know, of course, the value of Shakeology, since I wasn't drinking it. And in the first round that I did, I lost 5 pounds and 7 inches, and I loved it. And so the next month I was like, well, let me try Shakeology. And of course, from there, I loved it. So I'll give you some backstory to my story. I we're going to go way back into my 20s, early 20s. So I am 36. And so at the age of 24, I got married to my high school sweetheart, and we were together for 8 years. And after almost 2 years, we got a divorce. And so that kind of like rocked my world for a really long time. I actually was single for 7 years after that. It took me years, and I'm going to get emotional, so I'm just going to tell you that up front. It took me years to get over that. So I guess there was stuff going on inside me all those years that I didn't realize until I had this opportunity. And so when I met somebody new after all those years, I got pregnant, and when I found out I was pregnant, I was 5 weeks pregnant, and he said he was leaving and didn't want anything to do with me or the baby. So I was okay.
What are you talking about?
And so, I've been a single mom for forever, for her whole life. So it's, been a struggle. It's not easy, but, I've just made it work. And when this came into my life, I've never had a passion about a specific job. People go to college and they want to be a nurse or a doctor or whatever. I've never had that. I just always wanted to be a mom and stay at home with my family. So that dream never came true. And when I started this, I was probably 3 or 4 months into it when I realized, when I was seeing my upline team and moms younger than me quitting their job and staying home with their family. Those are all the things that I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to own my own business, and I just never knew what to do. So I was probably 4 months into this, and I realized what it was and what the opportunity is, and I finally just dove all in and have been trying to go full blast ever since, because this gave me a passion that I've never had. It changed. When I tell people, and I say this all the time, my team gets tired of hearing it, I'm sure. When I say that it's changed everything for my life, it's changed everything. So
I can't hear it now.
Can you hear me? Can you still hear me? Okay. Oh, you're sweet. Who's April? You're so sweet. I didn't have a passion for something that I loved. I still work a full-time job, so I'm going to work every day. I'm not there to take my little girl to school. My mom and dad watch her while I work, but she is in preschool. I wanted to, do all that and be that for her, and I'm not able to. And so I made it my goal, once I saw the opportunity in this, that this was going to get me to my dreams and to my dreams for her. And it's a slow journey for me. Like, everybody's journey is different, obviously. It's been a slow one, but it's still very real, and I know that I'm going to accomplish what I set out to accomplish. I've been able to put her into preschool. I would not have been able to do that, obviously. I don't get child support. So I've been able to put her in ballet. We've been able to travel some. I've been able to, for the past, so it's been a little over a year now, that I've been able to pay my mortgage and all my bills with my Beachbody money. So those are all things. When I started, I had just wanted to make $200 a month. That was my goal. I just wanted to help pay my bills. And, once I realized I could do so much more than that, building a team and really diving into personal development changed all that for me and let me realize, that I am capable of so much more. My team is capable if you just set out those dreams and do it. So that's what I did. And you're definitely, I've definitely had tons of failures and struggles along the way. And, that's all part of it, part of being your own boss. But, it's definitely all worth it. Sorry. So the struggles that I've gone through, this has changed me definitely. So my team name is called Fit Inside Out. So that just resonates with me because everything's changed inside of me from the inside out. My passion, my drive, I was happy and okay, but I don't think I realized there was some things that weren't okay until I started this. And it's kind of funny how it brings that out. I would never do this, talk to people about my story. I never talked about my story. I'm still struggling with that today. So I've been a coach for 2 years and I still struggle with it because it's very emotional. And my why, of course, is my daughter. And every time I feel like I don't want to, message somebody or post, I'm just not feeling it today, I look at her, I look at my dream board, and that makes me go do it because I have no other option, which even if I had a spouse, I wouldn't want to fall back on that anyways. I want to be able to live our dreams and give her, everything I want to give her. So your why, and I know Amber has told you, your why has to be so deep that every time you talk about it, you cry. And I do. Every time I talk about her and my story, I cry. And I just can't help it. Every time, you're in the worst place in your life, you got to dig deep. You have to have something that's going to push you because otherwise you will quit this in a heartbeat. 3 months into it, I wanted to quit. It was a struggle. It's still a struggle a lot of times, but it's totally worth it. I want to go over a couple things that have been really important to me, and I'm trying to watch y'all's chat message too in case I missed something. So I was hopeless, and I didn't even know that. That sounds weird coming out of my mouth. And this has totally given me hope. Like I said, I know that our future is going to be okay. I don't need to make $1 million, but if I do, that'll be great. But I know that my future is going to be okay. I know that I'm going to be able to quit my job. That's one of my goals in a year from now. So next August is my goal to quit my full-time job. And I know that I can do that. Before, I had no hope of that. I was going to go to work every day for the next 40 years, and that was my life on repeat. Go to work, come home, make dinner, play with Paige, put her to bed, go to work. Same thing every day. So now we do more things together. We're having more fun. I still have a schedule where I'm working my Beachbody business, but it's totally changed how I think. Like I said, I have a lot more hope, and I know that our future is going to be okay and secure. Personal development, of course, I feel like every coach says this, that it's so important, and then they all say they never did it until this, and I'm the same exact way. I don't think I've read a book since college. I mean, maybe I have, I don't know, but I feel like I haven't. Like, who has time to sit down and read a book? I don't. And I know. And that's again, totally changed how I think, and what I do. And if I'm down, I read my devotions every morning, or I read, whatever you're going through at the time is what you need to be reading. It doesn't have to be about business. I read so many books about healing, about divorce, about, confidence, yes, I have read books since college because I read a ton after my divorce. You have to, constantly be bettering your mind, because that is what pulls us down. That is what gets us in trouble. That's what makes us feel like we're hopeless, we're not worthy, we're no good, we're not going to succeed. All those things, that's coming from your mind. So you have to be filling it with the good stuff. And then, of course, books that regard to the business. And then, so that was my passion and filled with hope. And then another thing is just, I've made the best connections through this that I would never have made. The best friends that have lifted me up, motivated me in my life. Not just, like I said, not just on the business side of this. Like I would never have met Amber if I wasn't in a Beachbody coach. And the people on my team, 75% of them I do not know in person. So, you know, this has totally changed who I am in every aspect. And I've had people at work. You kind of get a mixture of people that like what you do and don't like what you do. And I feel like it's a little bit of jealousy maybe because you're bettering your life and they're not. And so I've, you know, kind of been dealing with a little bit of that at work. You know, why are you happy and why are you whatever? Why are you posting all the time about this and that? You know, you just got to get rid of that negativity and, you know, just tell them, hey, if you want what I have, then you have to join me, you know. But there's going to be all that mess that comes up in your life, and you definitely have to, like I said, be in your mind, be okay in your mind, be okay with who you are to push through all that. So I'm going to go down some tips. So one thing you have to do, I haven't been fully this for the past 2 years, but I can say I've been 75% once I was all in, consistent. You have to be so consistent. If you watch Melanie Mitro, she's the most consistent coach on the planet, and that's why she's #1. She posts her workout every single morning. She is consistent in everything she does. You have to be consistent. You have to be posting daily 3 to 5 times. And I don't care how much you don't like it, you have to do it. I never in my life took a selfie until I became a Beachbody coach. I thought it was the dumbest thing I ever heard of, and I hated it. Paige, you have to be quiet, Angel. And now, of course, if you're a coach, we take them 24/7. It's just a comfort level. You know, you have to get over it and just do it. You have to be intentional about what you're posting, why you're posting, who you're posting to. If I can tell you anything, it's what my upline coach told me is be here a year from now and see what a difference that makes. So obviously in any business, you always hear usually like the first 5 years, like if you owned a restaurant or a store, those first 5 years are crap. You don't make anything, you don't benefit, it's just terrible. The first year of this is crap. I'm just going to be honest. And it might be more than a year, or it might be less from you. Look at Bonnie Engel. She went 15-star in 2 years. You know, it's different for every single person. But like I said, when I started, I wanted to make $200. So my first 4 months, I think I made $100 in 4 months. And then once I became intentional, January of 2015, I said, I'm going to get Success Club every single month. And that's what I did. And my income skyrocketed. My team grew. And that's what changed everything. When I was consistently posting, making sure I always hit Success Club. And this is a time business. You have to give it time. I mean, there's no other. The only difference from us and the other successful ones is just time. They've just been in it longer. They've been posting longer, talking longer. And that's the only difference between, us and them. I've already touched on this, but personal development is an absolute must. No matter how much you put it off, I put it off for months before I started it. If you don't know what to read, if you're going through something in your life now, a bad spot, then you need to be reading stuff for that spot. But if you want to know about business, ask Amber what books to read. The 10 times rule is amazing. You could read that a million times. The compound effect is another one. And, just ask, different people what's best for you at the season that you're in with your business or whatever in your life. Okay, so another thing. So for last year, the whole 12 months, I hit Success Club 5 or more. And once I got to 5, I kind of slacked back and I was like, okay, whew, I made it. And I didn't always push for more than that because I was extremely fearful, and I'm okay to say it now, that I wouldn't get Success Club 5 the next month. I felt like I needed to save those people so I could get them because my goal was to hit it every month. And then I did that for 12 months in a row. And then this January, I was like, okay, I'm going to go for Success Club 10. And so I've been hitting that or more. And I was like, that was probably, or is, the dumbest thing I could have ever done, is hold myself back and say, you know, I might not get it next month, so I better wait. I wait on these people. And I even told some people at the end of the month, can you wait until the 1st? Don't do that. Don't hold yourself back. That was I feel like that whole year last year was wasted because I see how fast my income and my team has grown this year because I've been hitting Success Club 10 or more. So that has been a big wake-up call for me. I try to hit as many as I can. I don't stop if I get 10, Success Club 10. I try to go more because that fear, I guess, is a little bit still there, but it makes me have more confidence that I can do it again next month. Or if you're a goal person and you set goals for yourself and that makes you work, then that's what you need to do. Like if you hit 10 this month, you need to set your goal to hit 12 next month and then, keep going from there. Another thing is, I don't know if y'all know who Josh Coates is, but he is on the John Maxwell team. I've done several of his trainings this year. I'm trying to look at your chat too. Yes, exactly, Jen. We've all done that, so don't feel bad. That's just part of learning and growing. Like I said, the thing with this business is definitely time, because you learn all this stuff over time, and then you can look back and be like, oh, you were so dumb. And then you can change it, and that's fine. So you grow from this point on. So anyways, Josh Coates, I've been in his trainings, and I'm in some now, and I love him. If you don't know about him, you need to get in his trainings. But if you don't know, if you're asking, like, what do I do? Like, I think we've all asked this, because I know I've thought it plenty of times, like, oh, Amy Silverman, she must just have something special, this special formula. No, she doesn't. She does what we do. She just does it better because she's been in it longer. And you've got to talk to more people. So what I tell my team, and they struggle with, especially the new coaches, if you're a new coach, all it is, you have to, if you're, like, I stink at forming. I hate forming. I will invite all day long. I love to invite. I don't care. I don't know you. I will send you an invite right away. It doesn't bother me at all. Like, I'm not scared of that. But forming, I feel like it's wasting my time because I just want to get to the point. But we have to form. We have to get to know them, and that's part of it. You've got to talk to more people. If you don't know where to find people, you've got to, open that box you're in, and you've got to get out. I don't know if you're good at talking in public. I'm not good at that. I'm much better on social media, but I have a coach who's awesome. Everywhere she goes, she talks to somebody about this business. At the grocery store, the library, the daycare, every single where she goes, she's awesome. I'm better at, like, groups. I'm in yard sale groups, mom groups. If you love to play hopscotch, I don't know, get in hopscotch groups. Whatever you like to do. If you're in a book club, that would be an awesome place to talk to people. I just thought of that. I'm not in a book club, but that's a good idea. And what you do, so like one of my groups, what I do is I post in there, like maybe I post my meal for the day, or I'd post a question, like a legitimate question, like, oh, my kid is sick. What are y'all, whatever. What are you giving your kid for the flu or whatever? You just post value in there in post. And then the people that are liking and commenting on your posts, I friend them right away. So because they want, if they're commenting and liking on your stuff, it's okay to friend them. I've never had a person ask me, why are you friending me? So, if you're afraid to friend strangers, that's just part of it because you've got to grow your list. You just always have to be talking to more people, no matter what. You've got to be expanding your contact list. When I started, I was not huge on Facebook. I don't even know if that I posted once or twice a week. And I had 200 friends. And once I started this and my coach said, you got to add friends everywhere you can, I was like, okay. And I think I'm at 2,000 friends now because I'm always friending. So the next thing, when you, I want to see, I'm trying to answer things. Doesn't really just get right to the point. Yes. Yes. Tracy. Yes. I'd rather much get right to the point than say, hey, how you doing? I love your hair. Okay. Do you want to be in my group? Can I help you? I'd rather just help people. So for a show of hands, who has like a super duper strong why? Nobody? 2 people? Amber? 3? Okay. Okay. So if you do not, sorry, April. Do you have a super strong why? Can you hear me? Okay. Because you should have the strongest why, like I said, that if I asked you right this very second, you would break down and cry. That's how strong it needs to be. And your why is going to change as you're in this business, as you grow, as you make more money or whatever. It's going to change and, be different. But when you're working this business, like if you have set hours, so my hours, I try to put my daughter to bed at 9 or before, and then I work from 9 to 11. That doesn't always happen, but that's what I try to do. That's the only time I can actually sit down and work my business. I get up at 5. I do my workout and get ready for work because I have to leave my house at 6:30. So those are things that I do to make sure my business is staying on top. I would love to work more hours, of course, but it's just not always possible. When I started, this part of your business will change too. Like when I started, I would get home and work out after I got home, and then I'm rushing to cook. I'm like, okay, we've got like this much time to play together, and then I got to get you to bed, and it was awful. So I changed that, and so I'm just kind of trying to talk about sacrifices right now. You're going to have to sacrifice something. So I definitely, one thing, I don't know if you pray, but I'm a huge prayer person. I had to pray and ask God to give me the strength to work and function with less sleep. I've always needed 8 hours of sleep or more in my life. I've just always been low on energy. And I've been able to go for the past 2 years off of 5 or 6 hours. So that was a huge blessing. And then I realized I was hardly getting any time with my daughter the way I was running my schedule. So I was like, okay, I have to change that. I'm going to have to get up early and do my workout in the morning so I don't have to do it at night. And so that's what I did. I don't watch TV. I haven't watched TV in 2 years. I used to sit down and watch TV. We all have our favorite shows, and I would just sit down and that's what I would do, watch TV after I put her to bed. So there's little sacrifices that you have to be willing to make if you want to, live the way you want to live down the road. That's just part of it. Sorry, I'm still reading. Paige, no ma'am, just wait. So when you have that super strong why and you have your sacrifices, don't sacrifice your why for your why. I try to tell my team that all the time. And I have to remind myself that all the time, because if you love this, you will get sucked in. Like, I could do this 24/7, no problem, because I love it. And I know how it makes me feel, what it's done for me. So this is kind of attached to our hand at all times. And if someone messages you, we're messaging back, or we're checking on our groups. And I've had to learn, like, when I come home, I have to put this away because I will be on it. I just will. And so it's something I had to tell myself, like, I cannot sacrifice my daughter for this because she's the reason I'm doing it. She is my why. So don't sacrifice your why for your why. You've got to separate, and that's why I said you've got to have sacrifices. If you got to stay up till midnight to work the business, then that's what you have to do, or, you know, whatever it is for you in your situation. And I know, I'm sure you've heard that saying 1,000 times, live like no one now so you can live like no one later. Dave Ramsey says that all the time, you know, so that's, you know, talking about sacrifices, working your booty off, doing everything you can now. If the girls want to go out for drinks, tell them no, because you got to work your business. You know, if you have if you are going to go on a vacation and you know you really just shouldn't do it right now, then put that off and work your business, because later you're going to have the dream life that you want. And that's what it's talking about. So I think that's all, Amber.
Sorry. Yes, I can hear you. Sorry, Josh came up here and I got to get out of the room so he can go to bed. Yes. So I wrote down some questions, but I think you answered them all, because I wanted to ask you to share your schedule with everybody, because we do have some girls that work. So I wanted to hear your schedule and how you make it happen. And it all comes down to to discipline, self-discipline. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's self-discipline. And if any of y'all saw Andrea's video today, I mean, there was a lot of cuss words in there, of course. So you might want to not watch it while your kids are around. But she talked about how you create self-discipline is because your reason to change has to be stronger than, what is it? You want to stay the same or something like that. You just said a Dave Ramsey quote that was very similar to that. So you have to, when that alarm goes off at 5 o'clock in the morning and you don't want to wake up to get that workout done, it all has to come down to how bad do you want it? Mm-hmm. You know, how bad do you want it? And whatever you have to do to remind yourself, you know, of that. Whether it be the song that's on your alarm or a picture as soon as you wake up and you look and it's there, like whatever you have to do, you have to remind yourself of how bad you want it. But definitely, I wanted to see what personal development books you did recommend, because I know Jen asked today what personal development books recommended, like for if you're going through a divorce or you're going through those changes. Do you have any specific ones?
I have probably 30 upstairs in my room, like seriously. So I could definitely get those and send them to you.
Cool. Yeah. Even if you just could take a screenshot of them, of like all of them or something. Yeah. Not a screenshot, a picture.
Yeah.
Everything screenshot. Oh my goodness. Do y'all have any questions? Y'all just unmute yourself and ask for a little bit.
Oh my gosh. I'm on my phone. I'm sorry. I just realized I was screaming. I'm on my phone. So, but yeah, what's your schedule since you said you worked?
Okay, so I get up at 5 and I do my workout. So I get up at 5. I read my devotions. I do my workout, and then I'm getting ready for work, and I go to work. I work 7:30 to 4, and by the time I pick up my daughter and get home, it's usually a little after 5. And now I'll say this, I have an office job, so I'm very lucky that I can get on the computer during the day and I check on my groups, or I put, I'm able to post throughout the day on my break or lunch break, so that I'm very lucky with that. And then I get home, I make dinner, I play with her, and then my goal every night is work 9 to 11. So that's what I try to do. And so I'm in that time, I go through my groups and I comment and like on everything, in my challenge groups. I answer any questions. And then the rest of the time I'm inviting, I'm friending new people, I'm messaging people, trying to form. And also while I'm at work, I probably have my headphones in at least 2 hours of the day. And that's when I'm listening to whoever, like YouTube, any kind of leader on YouTube, trainings. Like today I was listening to Josh Coates, and I listen to a lot of, I don't know, you kind of have your favorite coaches who speak to you the most. So like mine are Melanie Mitro, Michael Folsom, our leader, Christina Delgado, and she's out of Miami. So I listen to a lot of those three on YouTube. Their team calls, their training videos, whatever they have. So that's my schedule. On the weekends, for a while, I wasn't doing anything for a long while because I try to unplug, especially on Sunday. I unplug completely and just be with my daughter. But I do get back to working it on Sunday night. But on Saturdays, I was pretty much not doing anything. Because I wasn't getting any responses. Obviously on Friday night and Saturday, people don't care what you have to say. They're just doing their own thing. But this is another dumb moment of mine where I wasted so many Saturdays not doing anything. Like now I do stuff. So now I use Buffer, which is a program that puts out your posts, like Hootsuite or something, where you can schedule your posts. And of course, as a new coach, I never did this, but as I've been in it and I've gotten a lot busier, I actually realized the value of it. And you kind of don't realize it until now. So like when I was at Summit, all my posts were scheduled and I did not have to worry about what to say or, whatever. So that's been a huge, so on Saturdays, I'll spend time doing that, like scheduling my posts, fixing up pictures and different things like that, and making videos for my team. So there's definitely things you can do on the weekend. You just have to be willing to do it. And like for a long time, I didn't do anything.
So let's see. Emily asked, everyone's opinion. What is your advice when people say they don't have the money or I don't have time to work out? We have like a list of objection type things. You can come back and help, like, I guess, rebuttal their, I don't know, it's an objection type thing. But do you have like a go-to response to that?
Like we've got scripts and stuff in my team, but I've actually got really bold in the last like 3 months. I don't know what happened, but I was just like, I get tired of hearing excuses. Mm-hmm. And I know we all have them, because when I first heard Shakeology was 130, I was like, what the heck? No way. And then this is what I say. So I say, okay, I don't have the money, or it's too expensive. And so I break it down. I say, this is blah, blah, blah. It comes to a little like $4.50 a day. You're getting the healthiest meal you could ever have. You're getting a fitness program. You don't have to go to the gym. You have everything you need to change your life. And you probably, this probably sounds massive, you probably go to McDonald's and spend more than that. Because it's true. Or Starbucks or whatever. And I kind of, I tell them, and I do tell them, I'm not a mean person. I do tell them, like I say, I'm telling you this from my heart because I was there and I know what it's like to be on a budget. But if you do this and see how it works, you actually save money. And this is what I tell them. You actually save money because you're not buying the junk. You're not going through Starbucks or McDonald's. You're spending $4 a day on a meal where you can go to a restaurant and get a salad and spend $8. They're always going to have that excuse, and you can tell them all that, and they'll still say it's too much, and they're just not ready. So you have to let them go and follow up. That's another huge point I could make. I follow up forever. I've heard some coaches say they follow up like 3 or 6 months and then let them go. I never let them go. I had a person in July message me and tell me she was ready. And I looked back at our messages because I keep all my messages. And I first asked her, I first invited her of June of last year. So it was over a year that I had followed up throughout time. So you always want to follow up.
Yeah, we have, I'm pretty sure there's, oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Well, so my goal is to message at least 10 to 15 people a night because between my husband and I, we have so many friends, or he knows so many people just in general. But so I messaged about 15 people, and probably 8 of those responded. I had 3 interactions, good deals, like, okay, well, tell me more about it, or what's the prices that I can do, So I just said price varies on the package you get. Well, then after I threw Starbucks in there because why not? You spend $5 to $10 on the drink when you can basically spend $140 a month on Shakeology, and roundabout you're saving like $50 to $250 a month just off of Shakeology. So I threw that in there, and the 3 responses that I got back was, well, maybe just later on, but keep in touch. So I told him, and I basically said the same exact thing you just said. Okay, well, I'm not going to be on your butt about it, but yeah, I'll message you probably in the next 2 or 3 weeks, see how things are going, see how your life is. And I think 4 of them were brand new mamas. And so that was my goal, was, okay, go after these brand new mamas that are, I hate to say it, but miserable with the way they look now, and, tell them, like, this can help you out. And I kind of link a success story with it, and that helps out tremendously. But I wasn't sure really what to say or what the point was to say, because I kind of get stuck. Like, I'm very skittish when it comes to that, and I wasn't really quite sure what to say when they say, well, just not right now. So I guess I did do the right thing.
You did. You really did.
A lot of times when I get that objection, like I got one tonight, actually. I had a girl that was going to be signed up as a discount coach, and she come back and said her husband wanted to wait because she was going through some she might have to go through back surgery and stuff like that. Well, and I feel so bad when I'm like, oh, okay, well, talk to you later, because I feel like, well, that was the only reason why I was talking to him.
Yeah.
So I'll come back with a question. I'd be like, oh man, I didn't realize you were having back problems. I hope everything's okay. I'll put you on my prayer list. When are you going to the doctor? Like, show value even after they say no, because that lets them know that no, they're not just talking to me to try to get on the beach body. So
right.
There's value in your conversation.
And not only that, you're new, so they're going to want to see if you're actually about it.
True. Yeah.
They're going to actually want to see if you're going to stick with this, if you're doing the workouts, if you're drinking Shakeology, if you're actually showing up. Because nobody wants to join someone who's just kind of, at the end of the day, trying to sell them something.
Well, you've also got a very, very
You want to join people who are going to do it.
You've got a very good story, just like I do with Shakeology too. So you always have that in.
And then Sunday, April. She had a question in the chat about, so from a 9 to 11, are you working the business, basically doing a superpower hour? And then when are you getting your mom stuff done? When are you doing that?
Honestly, I do that throughout the week. I don't know. I don't have like a certain time. Like when I get home and I make dinner, so we have like a 3.5 hour span, I guess, before I put her to bed. I'm making dinner, and she's usually I set her up doing a game or a craft. And while I have dinner going, if it's not like sometimes I'll, a lot of times I'll do crock pot meals. So that helps me out a lot. What I've started to do, so I'm not, usually Saturdays are house cleaning day. That's what everyone does. I kind of got away from that because I didn't like spending so much time on Saturdays doing that. And I wanted to do stuff with her. So this is just something I started doing. I do one thing a night in my house. So like, I don't have a set day I do something, but like one day I vacuum the whole house. The next day I clean the bathrooms. The next day I do laundry or whatever. So I'm not spending Saturdays doing that. But when I break it up a little bit like that, it's not a whole lot of time doing it. And like I don't have homework or anything yet. She's not that old. So as far as like cleaning and doing that kind of stuff, grocery shopping, we do that on the weekend. But is that what you mean? What can y'all
do you hear her?
No. I can't hear her.
Oh, okay. She can't. Okay, she's typing. That's what she was saying. Wait a minute. I was like, who is she talking to?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely, like I said, it's definitely a sacrifice. It's just something like you have to figure out what works for you and be okay with sacrificing sleep or something. I don't know. Yeah. Seriously, I would pray about it because I would never be able to function like I used to. Could not function if I didn't have 8 hours sleep. I mean, there was just no way. And now, Shakeology definitely has helped me in that area, but that's just something. Oh, gracious. It just gets worse and worse.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Get some Energize. Oh my goodness.
I drink it every day. That's a must. Like that's just not something I go without, honestly.
Well, thank you so much for coming to hang out with us.
Thanks for having me. I hope something helps somebody. Yes,
definitely. Do y'all have any last quick questions?
One thing too, well, Emily, she's gone. I was going to say one thing I do also when somebody tells me they're not interested, like used to, I'd be like, okay, can I check back with you later, but now I say, okay, well, do you mind if I send you a meal plan, just for you to have and help you, when you need it. It's just kind of, adding value to them and they, appreciate that. So that's
a very good idea.
It is a really good idea. Emily, I know you just come back. She was answering another part of your question. She was saying that like send her a meal plan or something like that. That was really cute to give her to just be like, here for you to try out.
There's tons of different ways. Like my new thing is, okay, so this month isn't the right time. Do you mind if I follow up with you next month? Do you think that would be a better time? I can put you on my RSVP list. And so they usually say yes. So then they know that they're expecting my follow-up, and then I just keep in touch with them because really, sometimes it's really not the right time, and then other times they're making up excuses. But like April said, if you're consistently posting, they're watching you. A lot of my coaches I talked to for 2 years, some of them still haven't joined me, and I've been coaching 3 years now. So it's just all in the right timing, I think, sometimes. But there are those little techniques that you can come out and object with that can make people think. Like they said, like my favorite I use when somebody says it's too expensive, I'm like, well, do you buy breakfast out? Do you buy lunch? Do you buy coffee? Like you said, you use the Starbucks thing. So I usually say that and try to pull it back in that because a lot of people save money by drinking Shakeology instead of stopping at McDonald's and getting a biscuit every morning.
And I was drinking like 2 5-hours a day before I started this business. So that right there is like $5 in itself, not including the candy bars and Dr. Peppers I was getting.
Oh, exactly. I know, right?
I know. Yeah.
I'll share one thing I wrote down.
Oh, McDonald's.
This is something I wrote down from one of Josh's trainings, and I loved it. So I have started using this. So when somebody gives you an objection like that, whether it's for coaching or for the challenge group, so you would say, where would you like to be a year from now? You know, and let them answer. And then you ask them, what are you doing to make sure that happens? And then whatever their excuses or not excuse, whatever that is. And then you say, would $140 be worth investing into having all those things a year from now? So, you know, whatever they tell you, you know, that you would word that to fit what they're saying. You know, and then you can say, if you put in the work now, you would be a lot closer to blah, 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 like whatever they told you their goals are. So that is something I really liked when I heard him say that, and I started using that because you're just something, again, that I'm not very good at yet is when you make posts or when you talk to people, you have to hit their pain. And I know that sounds mean. And like I said, I don't know exactly the best way to do that all the time. But like that, if somebody said that to me, I would be like, somebody's either going to take offense because they think you're being mean, but you just can't worry about that because it's telling the truth. Like if you want to lose 20 pounds and you want to get off blood pressure medicine, but you don't want to spend $140 to do it, what's the problem? You know, what are you going to do to make sure that happens? So is $140 worth you changing your life? And that's pretty much what you're asking them. Is that worth investing into you and having a better life, being there for your kids, or, you know, X, Y, and Z, whatever it is.
Definitely. Yeah. I like that. We have, I was going to mention this to you, Emily, because I know she just signed up like last week. But we have that challenge interview script. And that script, and Desiree, I can share this with you if you want me to, but the script like literally gives you all the right questions to ask, and it hits those pain points. It takes them on this emotional roller coaster of feeling sorry for themselves, feeling deep down depressed, to building themselves back up, to dreaming about where they want to be. And I can share that with you if you want me to, but I just wanted to make sure you use that. So it's hard for me to ask those questions sometimes. Like it's really hard for me to ask how they feel in their relationships. Like that's the hard one for me because I feel like that's such a touchy subject.
Mommy.
What?
The biggest thing is
Look
going
at
towards,
Sorry. Go ahead.
the biggest thing is going towards people like that and getting in their comfort zone. And because I've just always been like a really laid back person, and like I said earlier, which I kind of gotten out of that with my husband because he's just like over here, over there, over here, over there. So I've kind of, expressed myself more that way, but that's been my hardest thing. And I wanted to ask Desiree, what was the second thing you said you asked after you asked, where would you like to be a year from now, before about the $140 worth investing?
What are you doing to make sure that happens?
Okay. I'm trying to write all this down.
Yeah.
Let's get a picture real quick. I'm going to take a screenshot and then we're going to get off of here so we don't take up too much of your time, because now you got to get her to bed. And
take one too.
maybe do some work. All right. So Sunday, you're frozen. I'm sorry. She's frozen. Is she frozen on y'all's end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cheese. Okay, she became unfroze like as soon as I said cheese, and she was like, cheese. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, thank you so much. And how can we get this recording?
I'll have to put it on YouTube, and then I'll just send you the link.
That's fine. That's great.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank